So on this first day, we're covering this matter of image. So the matter of image, it's good to understand what do we mean by image, right? God made man in his own image and likeness. As I mentioned in the opening word, God's desire is to express himself. He wants the things that are within him to be seen. So what is God's image? Well, according to the Bible, God has an image, and that is something inward. And what we can see is that God is love, he's light, he's holiness, he's righteousness, he's a number of other things. But this is kind of a little sampling. When we mean his image, we're not referring to I have a likeness outwardly. You see my face, my hair is brown. That would refer to something of God's likeness outwardly. But inwardly, there's something within me, and I have love. A little story here. I didn't realize that I had a need to love somebody. Of course, I have my parents, my siblings, but at a certain point in time, there was a desire within me. It's hard to pinpoint, and that was when it was time for me to find a spouse. There was something God created in me, and a need to love someone in a certain way. That is God created. That's the very thing that's within God. That's the image that I was made in. He is love. I was made in his image to love. And so there was like this aspect, this virtue within me, this desire to love. This is like a shell ready to contain God as love. He wants to express his love in my love. And also, so when I receive the Lord, there's also a desire to love my fellow believers. This is something that didn't come from me, but it comes from God. So the matter of image, again, is to express God. The Bible particularly uses the example of a son being the expression of the Father. John 1:18 says, "No one has ever seen God, the only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father. He has declared him." This is a great illustration because when a father has a son, that son expresses the father. A little, again, side story here. My dad would always do this, when he was sitting back and watching something. I don't know where this came from, and it's not like maybe I saw my dad doing it, but it's just like it just happened. And my mom has a picture of me when I was a little kid just doing this. The life that was within my father was manifested. You could see it. And even another small story, a brother who knew my dad years later saw me and said, "You must be Jim Carton's son." He could see my dad in me. And so that is a great illustration. God wants to be seen in you and me. Did you realize that? God wants to be seen in you, and he wants to be seen in me. That's why he made us in his image, and he made us in such a way that he could fill us with himself. And so when people see us, they will see him. Okay, this shows that God's image is a matter of life inwardly. 2 Peter 1:3-4 mention, "Seeing that his divine power has granted to us all things which relate to life and godliness, through the full knowledge of him who has called us by his own glory and virtue, through which he has granted to us precious and exceedingly great promises, that through these you might become partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption which is in the world by lust." Kind of a key phrase in this, though, is that you might become partakers of the divine nature, right? God made us as a vessel, right? He's made us in his image. Like I was mentioning earlier, that matter of love. God wants his love to be expressed in us. Actually, not my love. I do have love, but my love falls short. You all probably have had that, because you might love someone in your family, but you don't always love them. That love runs out. They get on your nerves. It runs out. But God as love does not run out. It does not run out. We've all had the experience where we felt unlovable. Maybe you haven't felt that way. But at a certain point in your life, you might feel unlovable. You just feel like, oh, Lord. But you know what? The Lord loves us. His love doesn't run out. And his love can get into us, and we can have a love for man and for sinners that does not run out, because he has gotten into us. So again, this is the matter of image. God wants to be expressed. And so God wants to get into us and be expressed, and thus his image can be seen in us.